Columbus, Georgia, September 22, 2018. It was a scene straight out of a nightmare. The busy streets of Macon Road became the backdrop for a chilling crime that played out in full view of horrified witnesses. Cars screeched to a halt as 18-year-old Destinee Virgin sprinted through traffic, frantically screaming for help. Her face was etched with terror, her voice raw with desperation. Behind her was Markel Irvin, a teenager with a violent history, relentlessly pursuing her with a loaded gun. Moments later, shots rang out. Destinee collapsed in the street, her body riddled with bullets. Her killer, calm and calculated, climbed back into her car and fled the scene. This was no random act of violence. This was a murder foretold. Destinee Shante Virgin was no ordinary teen. Born in Fort Benning and raised in Columbus, Georgia, she was ambitious, focused, and full of promise. A recent graduate of George Washington Carver High School, Destinee had thrived in both academics and athletics. She was a junior ROTC leader, a track star, and had enrolled in the First Step program, working toward a career in the medical field. Destinee wanted to serve her community and ultimately, her country, but behind the smiles and aspirations was a darker reality. Destinee was trapped in a toxic relationship with 17-year-old Markel Irvin, a high school dropout whose obsessive and violent behavior had escalated over time. In April 2018, Irvin kidnapped Destinee and held her captive for 48 hours. The incident led to charges of kidnapping, assault, and false imprisonment. He was arrested, but not for long. Despite the severity of his crimes, Irvin was released just weeks later on a $50,000 bond, allowed to walk free under the city's Rapid Resolution Program, a controversial system aimed at easing jail overcrowding. Destinee's family was outraged. Her mother, Michelle Virgin, warned the courts that her daughter's life was in danger. The warning went unheeded. On the evening of September 22, 2018, Destinee was in her silver Nissan Maxima with Irvin. At approximately 7 p.m., stopped at a red light on Macon Road, she made a desperate attempt to escape. She flung open the car door, bolted into traffic, and tried to open the doors of passing vehicles, begging for help. Irvin was right behind her, gun in hand. Witnesses watched in horror as he raised the 9mm pistol and fired multiple rounds, striking Destinee several times. She collapsed in the middle of the road. Irvin then calmly re-entered the car and fled. Destinee was rushed to Piedmont Columbus Regional Hospital. She was pronounced dead at 7:45 p.m. Irvin fled the city, but law enforcement acted quickly. The next day, deputies located Destinee's abandoned car in Harris County. Irvin had escaped into nearby woods but left behind vital clues, red clay footprints matching his shoes and Destinee's credit card in his possession. He was apprehended the morning of September 23, 2018. The murder sparked outrage across Columbus. Destinee's family and local advocates condemned the justice system for allowing Irvin's release months earlier. Community activist Outley, president of SAVE, Standing Against Violence Education, stated, "Something fell through the cracks. Now a mother is burying her daughter again in our city. This was preventable." Destinee's mother, Michelle, echoed those sentiments. She had done everything right, filed reports, attended court, pleaded with the judge. But nothing stopped Irvin. "He murdered my baby like she was an animal," she said, describing the agony of watching surveillance footage of the final moments of her daughter's life. Markel Irvin's trial was delayed for over 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. During this time, Michelle Virgin became a tireless advocate for domestic violence victims, attending every hearing, contacting prosecutors, and ensuring her daughter's story wasn't forgotten. Destinee wasn't a case file. She was my daughter. She had dreams. She mattered, Michelle said. On May 10, 2021, Irvin pleaded guilty to malice murder, kidnapping, and other charges. He was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 30 years, plus an additional 5 years to be served consecutively. That means the earliest he could walk free would be in 2051. For Destinee's family, it was a bittersweet outcome. "I'm glad he's facing justice. But the thought of him getting out someday, it haunts me," Michelle said. She vowed to attend every parole hearing to make sure Irvin stays behind bars. Destinee's grandmother, Felicia Virgin, also took a public stand during the court proceedings, detailing how Irvin had stalked, threatened, and terrorized Destinee. She called for the harshest sentence possible, stating that he did not deserve a second chance. Destinee's close friends expressed deep grief and regret. Her friend Jasmine Grimes recounted how she'd once seen Irvin flashing a gun on Instagram but never imagined it would end in murder. In the wake of Destinee's death, her mother continued to speak out against domestic violence and flaws in the justice system. "Love doesn't hurt," Michelle said. "If someone is hitting you, that's not love. You cannot change them. Leave before it's too late." She has pushed for reforms that would prevent suspects in violent crimes from being easily released and is calling for stricter enforcement of no-contact orders. Destinee Virgin's murder was more than a tragedy, it was a systemic failure. She was failed by a court that released her abuser, by a justice system that minimized red flags, and by policies that prioritized speed over safety. Her story serves as a devastating reminder of the dangers of intimate partner violence and the importance of listening when victims speak out. May Destinee's story inspire change, protect others, and remind us that real justice isn't just about punishment, it's about prevention. Rest in peace, Destinee Shante Virgin. Your light lives on through the voices demanding justice in your name.